Major Henry Neill.
And where do you reside, Major Neill?
In Kansas City, Missouri.
How did you gain the title of Major?
Through my enlistment in the Army, the U.S. Army.
And during the late conflict that engaged this country, on which side were you engaged?
The United States of America.
Thank you. Now, what is your current trade or business?
I am an officer in the U.S. Army.
Now, are you acquainted with one Thomas Crittenden?
Yes, I am.
Is Mr. Crittenden present in the courtroom today?
Yes, he is. He's sitting at that table right over there.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
It will do so.
Now, when did you first meet Mr. Crittenden?
I met Governor Crittenden, sometime after the war, probably in the 1870s.
Okay, and what was the nature of your relationship?
We were friends.
Did you become a personal and political confidant of the governor?
I'm not sure I understand what you mean by confidant, but the governor and I were friends, and we talked about politics and matters of the day from time to time.
In any case, did you support him in his race for governor in 1880?
Of course I did.
And shortly before the election in 1880, did the governor write you a letter?
Yes, I believe he did.
All right. And, Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
I'm going to hand you what's been marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 3. Ask you to examine that if you would. Is that the letter that the governor wrote to you in November of 1880?
I think he wrote it to me in October of 1880, but yes, I believe it is a letter that the governor wrote to me in October of 1880.
All right. And may I, Your Honor, at this time I'd move the admission of Governments 3.
The objection.
No objection, Your Honor.
Governments 3 is admitted in evidence.
For the benefit of the jury and the witness, Governments 3 is up on the screen. Now, based on this letter and also other communications with the governor, what was the theme of the governor's campaign in 1880?
Basically, it was to make Missouri safe by getting rid of the James gang.
And indeed, that's precisely what he said in this letter, isn't that right?
Yes, it is.
As you know, my campaign shall rest upon the proposition that ridding Missouri of the James gang forever is our utmost priority. Now, what were the major concerns expressed by the governor about Mr. James and his associates?
Well, the governor, like all of us, felt that the James gang posed a severe danger to the citizenry of the state of Missouri. He was a murderous thug. He and his gang members had killed numbers of people, had robbed several banks. He was also posing a detriment to the economy of the state. We're a young state, and we depend upon the money we receive from people who travel from the east to head to the west, the railroads, and the like. And the James gang was preventing the eastern travelers from coming to the state of Missouri. Missouri was beginning to be known as a robber state.
Okay. Now, in fact, in the letter that the governor sent you in the fall of 1880, he didn't express any particular concern about murders, did he? In fact, his expressions of concern were almost entirely about the negative economic impact.
No, I wouldn't say that. He called Jesse James a nefarious cutthroat. It seems to me like that stands for murderer.
All right. And how did Mr. Crittenden propose to put a stop to the supposed depredations of the James gang?
How did he, I'm sorry, he proposed to stop him?
Yes. What means did he propose to use? In fact, exactly what did he say in the letter about that, Major?
I assume you're referring to the last line where he says,
I am.
Be it by an assassin's bullet or an executioner's noose, James must be stopped once and for all.
be it by an assassin's bullet or an executioner's noose, James must be stopped once and for all.
And he was right.
I see. Now, this was his platform, and on this bloodthirsty platform, the governor was elected in 1880. Is that correct?
I disagree with your assertion that it was a bloodthirsty platform.
He was elected in November of 1880.
The governor was
not?
elected in November of 1880. That is
Thank you.
correct,
Now,
sir.
did he have any luck either apprehending or killing Mr. James in 1880 or the first half of 1881?
Did he have any luck? I do not believe that Mr. James was apprehended by anyone during that period of time.
Nor killed, at least during that period of time, correct?
It is my understanding that Mr. James survived that period, yes.
And his survival concerned you, did it not, Major?
Absolutely.
And as an expression of that concern, you wrote a letter on June the 12th of 1881 to His Excellency Thomas T. Crittenden, did you not?
I wrote him a letter about that time, yes.
Let me hand you Government's Exhibit 9. Is that the letter that you wrote him?
Appears to be, yes.
Your Honor, I'd move the admission of Government's 9.
No objection, Your Honor.
9 will be admitted.
Now, in your letter, you stressed, did you not, the economic damage that Mr. James and his associates were, in your view, doing to Missouri, correct?
I stressed the economic damage that the James gang was doing to the state of Missouri in the view of many people, and most of the people of the state of Missouri, including Governor Crittenden.
Well, you spoke not only about people in Missouri, but other people in this letter, did you not?
I'm sorry, I really don't understand your question.
Well, in this letter, you spoke not only about the concerns of people in Missouri, but concerns of other people, did you not?
Of course I did.
Our friends from the East.
Yes.
And you also expressed concern that different rail lines might be adopted because of concern about the James gang. Is that right?
I was very concerned about it. The James gangs posed a danger not only to the livelihood, not to the lives of the citizenry of the state, but to the livelihood dependent upon the travel of the rail.
Now, as a result of your concerns, you enjoined the governor, you beseeched him to use any means at his disposal in carrying out what you characterized as his duty, correct?
I beseeched him to pursue James by any means necessary, and I characterize it, as did many people, as his duty and the duty of all citizens of the state of Missouri.
Now, did you have any other contact with Governor Crittenden between the summer of 1881 and April the 3rd of 1882 when Jesse James was assassinated?
I don't recall.
All right. Did you talk to the governor between April the 3rd of April the 3rd of 1882 and April the 20th or so of 1882?
Not to my recollection.
Did the governor at some point in the summer of 1881 actually contact you through a telegram?
Not that I recall.
Well, let me hand you Government's Exhibit 4. Is that not a telegram from Governor Crittenden to you? Major Neill, had you agreed to talk to me before? Had you agreed to talk to me before trial, we might have avoided this problem, Major Neill. Recalcitrance has its costs.
Yes, I recall this telegram.